Did you ever think Neil Young could be such a censorship-supporting baby?
Well, I hope Neil Young will remember. Southern man don't need him around anyhow.
Hey, before we get into this video, take a second right now and visit our sponsor, Prepper's Peak, and grab one of these 3-in-1 Quick Connect rechargeable flashlights. Quickly change between a 600 lumen flashlight, a 400 lumen work light, or a 200 lumen gooseneck flex light that you can hang virtually anywhere for hands-free portable illumination. It comes with a USB charging cord and power brick, and each attachment has 5 lighting modes: high, medium, low, SOS, and strobe. The magnet at the other end of the flashlight is powerful enough to stick to the side of anything metal, giving you more hands-free options. Grab one for yourself and for somebody you love. The link with my discount code is in the description. We already know where Kid Rock is. He visited the White House back in, what was it, like 2017 with Sarah Palin. And Kid Rock is on the right side of the left versus right paradigm, which is just as bad as the left side of the right versus left paradigm. But the reason I wanted to play this is because at least he's exercising his freedom of speech to say whatever he wants to say. Is it hypocritical? Yes. Is it playing into the two-party system? Yes. But look what Neil Young is doing on the other side. And the other side of it, Neil Young is basically saying, hey, it's either Joe Rogan or Neil Young, but you can't have them both on Spotify. So unless you get rid of Joe Rogan, I'm not going to be on there for very long. So Neil Young on one side is calling for censorship. I've never heard Kid Rock call for censorship. Neil Young is threatening to pull music from Spotify over Joe Rogan's VAXX misinformation. They say, here's what people are saying. And if you go to Rolling Stone, you can actually see part of what he says in this letter. It says Neil Young posted a since deleted letter to his management team. I bet that wasn't very popular. Since he's going up, I've heard 1.6 to 2 million people listen to Neil Young on Spotify every month. And I think it's like 11 million per month. Or I'm sorry, 200 million per month, about 11 million a day for Joe Rogan. Who do you think is going to win that battle? Who do you think's way more popular on Spotify and actually in the world? Neil Young or Joe Rogan? Neil Young posted a since deleted letter to his management team and record label demanding that they remove his music from Spotify. Here's what he says. I am doing this because Spotify is spreading fake information about vaccines, potentially causing death to those who believe the disinformation being spread by them. So in other words, if you don't believe the information being put out on fake stream media, put out by the government and put out by the big pharma industrial complex, well, then in my estimation, Neil Young says, it's misinformation, it's disinformation, and it's leading people to their demise. Please act on this immediately today and keep me informed of the time schedule. I want you to let Spotify know immediately today that I want all my music off their platform. He continued, they can have Rogan or Young, not both. So he gives them the ultimatum. What's he basically saying? Hey, I'm calling for censorship on Spotify. Unless you eliminate one of those voices, you're not going to hear my voice on your platform. Here's the deal. Spotify shouldn't even respond. You know why? Because Spotify should just be a platform where anybody, just like like AT&T or Verizon, it's just, hey, we're offering you the platform, use it however you want to. Do you realize you can use AT&T and Verizon to order anything that you want over their airwaves? Are they out there publishing and editing your content before it reaches the final destination? No. See, that's why the publisher or platform argument is so crazy on Facebook and Twitter, because they have decided to be publishers. They have decided to be editors. They moved away from being a platform a long time ago. And if Spotify if they want to find themselves on the right side of history, so to speak, they should leave it alone and just remain a platform and say, hey, this guy can upload here, this guy can upload here. We don't have a misinformation, disinformation policy. We assume that people who are listening to our platform are adults and they can make their own decisions. Man, wouldn't that be a breath of fresh air if Spotify went that route? But you know they're going to receive a lot of pressure. and it probably won't end up that way. Not to be outdone, legendary Canadian singer and songwriter Neil Young decided to launch a war against Joe Rogan. In a now deleted letter sent to his manager and co-chairman and chief operating officer of Warner Brothers Records, Young threatened to pull his extensive catalog from Spotify in protest of the spread of COVID-19 misinformation on the platform. Young, a polio survivor. Okay, thanks for throwing that in there, Toronto Star. Young, a polio survivor, singled out the Joe Rogan Experience, an immensely popular podcast with a long track record of peddling false information on the COVID-19. You know what? Actually, I'm not a Joe Rogan fan, but here's what he's doing. He actually puts out information where people can make their own decisions about, hey, is what they're saying true or not? Let me do further research. It actually facilitates people going out there and informing themselves and finding out what the heck is going on. And that right there, those are the sparks of healthy debate. That's exactly what you want. That's the kindling that starts the fire of people actually waking up and beginning to realize, hey, here's what's going on in our world. I wasn't aware of this. Thanks for bringing this to us, Joe Rogan. Thanks for bringing this to us, Dr. Malone or Peter McCullough. I had no idea. Thanks for lending your researched mind and bringing it on this podcast and letting me listen to it, because otherwise I would have only been left with what's on CNN, MSLSD, and Fox News. Didn't even realize there were dissenting voices on this. I mean, you know, I thought Anthony Fauci was a god because CNN and Jim Acosta tells me Fauci's a god. I'm doing this because Spotify is spreading fake information about VAXX potentially causing death to those who believe the misinformation or disinformation. I want to let Spotify know immediately today that I want all my music off their platform. Earlier this month, nearly 300 U.S. doctors. So listen, look, they're still sticking by this, guys. Even though it has already been revealed that those 270 doctors, most of them weren't even medical professionals at all. But they're going to stick by it. Look, they're going to continue. They're going to double down on their fake news. Earlier this month, nearly 300 U.S. doctors, scientists, and healthcare professionals and professors penned an open letter. Look, now they're adding to it, because the initial headlines was, oh, it's 300 medical doctors. Now they changed it to scientists, healthcare professionals, and professors penned an open letter to Spotify. I bet they never apologized either, expressing concern about medical misinformation on the Joe Rogan Experience. Throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, Joe Rogan has repeatedly spread misleading and false claims on his podcast, provoking distrust in science and medicine. Distrust in the current science medicine paradigm. Imagine that. You know, the science that's corrupted by the evil of politics. He has discouraged VAXXination in young people and children, incorrectly claiming that mRNA VAXXs are gene therapy, promoted off-label use of horse dewormer to treat the COVID-19, contrary to FDA warnings, and spread a number of unsubstantiated conspiracy theories. You know, like, who keeps doing that? Oh, that's right, mainstream media. Constantly spreading rumor after rumor and unsubstantiated conspiracy theories, like, you know, official stories and all. You know, it was because of fake stream media back in the 1960s that people started believing in the Gulf of Tonkin episode that never happened. 40 years later, we have the declassified documents to show that there weren't North Vietnamese torpedo boats firing at the USS Maddox. Even back then, they had LBJ recorders saying, for all I know, they were shooting at whales. But it's that lie that was promoted by mainstream media, the Gulf of Tonkin incident that never happened, that led us into the long, costly, and failed Vietnam War. How many people died? What was it, like 59,000 U.S. servicemen and 1.5 to 3 million civilian casualties? All because of a lie that was propagated and fueled and furthered by fake stream media. So they keep on going. I guess Daryl Hannah is the girlfriend of Neil Young. I didn't even know that. But she jumps into the fray. Oh, the wife, Young's wife, the actor and activist Daryl Hannah, chimed in on Twitter, writing that, quote, inherently harmful disinformation used as propaganda does not equal free speech. Let's see, how can I say this? Yes, it does. Disinformation, things that other people might consider disinformation and misinformation, falls under the category of free speech. Do you see any one of us out there going, hey, they need to eliminate CNN? They need to cut them off from the public square of open debate. We don't need to hear Rachel Maddow from MSLSD. We don't need to hear Sean Hannity from Fox News. No, it's like, hey, let them continue to peddle their disinformation. We have better ideas. We have more sound reasoning. We have watertight, ironclad arguments. Fine, let them fight with those, but I'm not asking for anybody's voice to be stricken from the public record. But they are. They're asking for that. A private company choosing not to profit off and promote propaganda is not censorship. Trying to silence anybody's voice is censorship. Spreading harmful disinformation and misinformation is free speech. That's dangerous speech. You have the right to dangerous speech in America. By the way, it's called an inalienable right in the Declaration of Independence. I don't know if anybody in mainstream media is aware of that.
While we have time and it still retains some of its perceived value, maybe it'd be a good idea to convert your worthless fiat into valuable, storable food. Don't be the one who waits till the food riots start happening. You don't want to be fighting panicking people in the store over that last jar of peanut butter. At Prepare with High Impact Flicks, you can get up to 3 air and watertight gasket sealed ammo cans, each filled with a 4-week emergency supply. 7 food varieties, 2,000 calories a day, 284 servings, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and each meal comes in a resealable, heavy-duty 4-layered pouch. And it's got a 25-year shelf life. Every order of a 4-week supply gets you $100 off plus free shipping. Here's how simple it is to make. I'm going to cook up some Granny's home-style potato soup. People are going to think I'm a culinary hero. You open the pouch, boil 4.5 cups of water, stir the contents, simmer on low heat for 15 to 20 minutes, take it off the heat, then let it set for 2 to 3 minutes before you serve it up.
Man, this stuff's so good. People are going to think Granny stopped by and filled your kitchen with a whole bunch of love.
Well, if Granny does stop by, she's going to fill your behind with a whole bunch of buckshot if you keep talking with your mouth full. Wipe your dang beard off. It's embarrassing. So maybe convert some of your worthless fiat into valuable food while you still can. Order now and get $100 off of up to 3 4-week emergency food supplies at preparewithhighimpactflix.com. The link is in the description.